Champs, my good friend Dakota Robertson once told me you're 12 months of consistency away from becoming a new person. And today is exactly 12 months since I started CreatorLaunch. So I thought it'd be interesting to share with you my full journey from quitting my 9 to 5 3 years ago when I was stuck in a soulless office, having to commute 3 hours every single day, falling asleep on the train so that I could time travel my way to work just to do what felt like absolutely meaningless work, to now where I have what feels like a dream life. Work now just feels like play. I've helped a bunch of entrepreneurs quit their 9 to 5 and helped a load of creators scale their businesses to 20, 30, 40K plus per month. But a year ago, things were very different. So I was co-running an SMMA agency where, despite us bringing in like 40, 50K per month, low profit margins meant I didn't pocket enough of it to be comfortable. In fact, it was so uncomfortable for the first time in my life, I got severely depressed. And for the first time in my life, I totally lost control on my health. I was addicted to vaping. I was drinking every single night just to try and drown myself from the stress and anxiety. I realized something had to change. And turns out the change that I needed was to roll the dice on myself. So in July 2023 last year, I left my agency. I took a couple of our clients with me. And on July 6th, I came up with the name CreatorLaunch. For the smart ones amongst you, you can probably figure out where that name came from. And I registered the company on that day, and in August last year, I recorded a video detailing my exact business plan and model I intended to use to grow CreatorLaunch to 1 million in annual profit in the next 3 to 5 years. It's now 2 to 4 years, but today I'm going to revisit that model and see if I managed to stick to it and if I've changed anything. I'm also going to share with you my 3 biggest lessons I've learned from this first year of running CreatorLaunch, which I wish someone could have told me when I started. Right, champs, let's dive into another spicy whiteboard sesh. Right, champs, welcome to the first year anniversary. The first year anniversary. Number 1 is in the bank. Today is the 6th of July. And yeah, I've been doing this shit for a year now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through, because I'm doing this because one, I like history. And second, I think if someone could have told me this a few years ago, given me an idea of like what the path is going to look like for you, then that would have been sick. So hopefully this will help you. But I'm going to tell you exactly what we did. We're going to look back as well. We're going to look back a year and be like, has Tom stuck to his guns on this? Is he doing what he said he was going to do? And we'll find out. So you need to stick around. By the way, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, what are you doing? The button is right there. So go click it and join me on my journey. Okay, right, let's dive into this. This is a timeline of, I mean, it looks like an absolute mess, let's be honest, but let's walk through it. So the date over here is October 2021, and it was this date where I quit my 9 to 5. So I was working a job in tech, and I was hating life, but at the same time, I always knew I wanted to do something. So what I did was I was working at a tech company where my role was to help some of the biggest e-com brands in the world and luxury brands, retailers. My job was to help them with making their apps and their websites better. So I was working as a consultant. And so my job was, I was essentially a customer journey specialist. My job was to say, okay, you've got a website, you've got an app. Here are where like the customers are leaking out. This is where they're dropping off in the customer journey. Here's how you can make every single step better and easier, make parts of your website more effective. It would be everything. It was sick. It was a sick job, but I always knew I wanted to start my own thing. So I started because I was like doing e-com. I was like, okay, I can start an e-com business because I know what e-com's about, right? Like I help the biggest e-com brands in the world. turns out just because you know how to make a website better doesn't mean you know shit about ecom. Because the biggest thing that I missed out when I started my ecom business, which was I started it was a beauty business, because I was like, I'm just going to be the man behind the scenes. I'm going to do all the tech. I'm going to do all that stuff. And my business partner at the time was a colleague, and she was a girl. And so I made this dumbass assumption that because she was a girl and she was into fashion, that she also knew everything about beauty. Bad assumption to make, turns out. Okay. And holding up my hand, that was a bad mistake. So we started this business, and I quit my 9 to 5. I was like, the only chance we're going to get this off the ground is if I go all in and I give it everything. So I quit my job. 3 months later, I was like, okay, this is fucked. We're literally not making any money. I think collectively we got into like 30 grand's worth of debt to be able to get this off the ground. And it didn't get off the ground because I made a bunch of wrong assumptions, which everyone does in their first few businesses. So this is the journey that I went on. So I quit my job, and then in January I was like, now what? And I was like, I'm not going to get another job. I am not going to get another job. So I started making content on YouTube, and eventually a few months later, I think in April, I launched my first private community, which was a Discord community called the Summit Club, which is the name of my podcast, which if you haven't subscribed to, I don't even think there's a link down below. There might be, who knows? Anyway, besides the point, that was my first private community. And yeah, like it was awesome. I met some incredible people that I ended up spending a huge part of the next kind of like year meeting, working, and traveling across all over the world. Had an amazing experiences with a huge amount of people that I met through that process. So for the next kind of like from April to, actually it was about June, was when I met a few people and decided to launch an agency helping other businesses launch communities, and specifically we were helping launching them on Discord. And so this is what we were doing, and I was a co-founder with 2 other founders, and we spent that time like it would have been from June to June last year, working with businesses, growing communities, building up their following. You know, we would absolutely blow up businesses' Twitter accounts to like tens of thousands, and like really like blow up their accounts, blow up their communities. And we got that agency to about like 40 to 50K a month, and which on the kind of like, you would think that was great, right? The truth is we were running at a really low profit margin. So I was really struggling to survive just on essentially like not that much. I was taking home maybe a couple of grand a month, a few grand a month. And that was tough. That was really tough. Like living in London, it was tough. And this killed me, like literally, absolutely killed me. As in, it got to the point where for the first time in my life, I thought I was immune to anxiety, depression, stress. Like genuinely, I've been through a lot of shit. Seen some things in my life where I know I can handle stuff. But the stress, the overwhelming stress of not having enough money month after month after month, and feeling like, you know, no matter what we did, it was just never enough, really hurt me. And it was in like June last year, like April, May, June last year, where I was, it's tough for me to even say this, because it is, very, very like painful to even consider. But like I was borderline suicidal, and that is a very, very tough thing to say. Like really tough, because I never thought my life would get to that stage. And it was like I can only laugh, because it is painful to even consider that, because I've always considered myself someone who loves life more than anything. And it was just overwhelming. And this is why I'm doing what I do now, is because I never, ever, ever want people to feel that way. I want to help them. I want to help them never have to go through the feelings that I went through. And that is what drives me. That is my mission, to help people not have to do that, to get to build their dream business, where now fast forward a year, I have that, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that people don't experience what I experienced. So it got to the point where for the first time in my life, like, my health had completely disappeared. I was vaping all day. I was drinking every single night just to like kind of get through the stress. And I was just like, something has to change here. Like, I've always been in shape. I've never been like addicted to like nicotine. Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I realized, I was like, something needs to change. And so the change was that I decided in June last year, I was like, I'm going to roll the dice on myself. So I told my business partners I'm leaving, and they were like, okay, cool. And I was like, I want to take a couple of my clients, the ones that I was managing, with me. So I did. So I did that. And in July, on July the 6th, I formed CreatorLaunch. And like, I actually, within a week, I'd come up with a brand design. I'd posted about this. I had a website, had everything. And the next kind of like 6 months, from July to December, I was like, okay, how am I going to actually like do this? So I was already working with a few private clients, but I was like, what do I want long term? And I knew what I wanted long term was what I have now, which is an education business where I help people essentially just know how to do what I was doing, which was working and getting success with clients. So during the 6 months, I did I was like, I know the thing I need to focus on is case studies. I need to focus on getting evidence and proof that I can do what I say I can do. So in this period of time, I was focused on case studies, and I have Ben 1 and Ben 2 here because 2 of the case studies that I had, both of the guys are called Ben. Just it is what it is. But I was like, yeah, I wish one of them could have been called Chris. Anyway, I was like, I'm going to work and make sure I absolutely smash it with these guys. So Ben 1, we got him from 5K to 30K per month. Ben 2, we got him from 10K to 40K per month. And so those are like the 2 first case studies I got. And during that time, I was like, okay, how do I get a little bit of cash flow during this time? And so I launched a beta cohort, which I positioned at $400. And I went and did this through Twitter. Went to my existing audience and my network and was like, hey, I got on must have been on average 20 to 30 calls a week for 4 weeks. Just literally doing what you need to do to sell shit. So I got 20 clients at $400. And the position was, hey, I'm launching this thing in January. I'm launching a full program in January. Do you want to be one of my beta clients, and you can get it for 400 instead of 4,000. Now the great news about this is a bunch of these people ended up paying me the full program 6 to 9 months later. So and this is a big philosophy that I'll get to in a bit, the idea that you just want to work with people for as long as possible. But this is a great example of how people who kind of got in at the early stage, the best fit people, they ended up ascending into my full program 9 months down the line, 6 to 9 months down the line, which meant, to be honest, that that to me was proof that I'd done a great job. Sorry, I'm sick, by the way. That's why I keep on rubbing my nose. I'm I've been sick for the last few days. But anyway, this is the raw reality of running a business. Who cares if you're sick? You just fucking get to work. No, I'm kind of on the recovery. The last few days have been a bit rough, but hey, we're here. And so yeah, I positioned this as a beta cohort where I'm going to be testing out a bunch of my ideas, bunch of content, bunch of resources. Do you guys want to get involved? Had 20 people join. And that was sick. That was awesome. I got to test out a load of resources. And then I was like, okay, this has given me enough evidence that I can launch this full thing in February 2024. So about 8 months ago. And really that's got us to the place where we're at now, which is I now have my full full community, which is Freedom Creators. That is our community where we help creators get to their next six-figure milestone, whether it's 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K, whatever it is. And the big focus that I've had for the last like 9 months, it has just been about client results. Like I only now feel like I can start to consider scaling, and this is a big lesson that I've learned, is that people try and scale too quick. And so this has been a big focus of mine, is just, I just want to make sure that everything that we have is just killing client results. The great news is I've seen a shit ton of evidence that that is the case. So look, that's my kind of like journey from where when I quit my 9 to 5, that's about 2.8 years ago. I did the maths. It's not 2.5, it's not 3, it's like 2.8 years ago. And to where we are now, where I feel so blessed to just, I get to choose who I work with, dream clients only, and it's incredible. So from where I was a year ago to where, like, again, it's tough for me to even talk about, to be honest. It's very tough for me to talk about what life was like just 12, 13, 14 months ago. But that is the journey that we go on. So anyway, okay, that was my journey. This is now my client journey. I actually made this. This is from last year. This is a year ago. They posted a video. It's on my YouTube channel. You can go see it. So on July 6th, 2023, I posted my, essentially what I call my like value ladder, the Russell Brunson style value ladder, a customer ascension pathway. And this was very much me being like, hey, look, this is what I think is going to work. And I'm just going to spend the next year building it. And so I'll kind of go through it quickly. So really, this is like I haven't changed this, by the way. So this is the exact one. So 3 to 5 year roadmap. The aim is to get to $1 million annual profit. And why? Play long-term games with long-term people. Transform lives, uncover people's true purpose, help people build a life of autonomy and purpose, not just freedom. So I think I'm delivering on this why right now. I think I have done, and I think I continue to. Then we've got free content. So this is like, I guess like, yeah, my newsletter, which I would consider as a lead magnet, to be honest. I kind of would put that in there. But this is like content, ultimate guide for creators. And I've put this here. The aim is to get this to 100K in 3 years. So 100K email subs. Like now like after doing this for a year now, I'm like, to get that in 3 years is probably unrealistic. I think if I can get that to 20 to 30,000, I think that would be pretty damn good. And I think the key is like 20 to 30 like engaged subscribers is the key. Whereas I think I could blast this thing to 100K subscribers. I know how much money people put behind growing their email lists. So we'll see. I'm not so sure about this. But right now I'm like really focused on just getting like quality subscribers. But this is a big part of the business, is getting people onto my email list, which we'll get to in a bit. Lead magnet. So free courses, guides, consultations, swipe files. So that was a plan. I started building them from back then. Then kind of going into digital products and courses. So $150 to $500, Trust, Tripwire, Impulse Purchase, the Solopreneur Starter Pack. So this is the idea, was to launch a course called the Solopreneur Starter Pack, and specifically the X edition, because that was when I was focused on building my business on X, which has changed, which we'll talk about. And then the idea was that would feed into the group coaching, which at the time I started at $400. And this was the beta cohort that I call Project Stealth. Shout out to the ninjas who joined on that launch on the beta cohort. Really happy with how that went. And I think some big lessons here if you wanted to get into this. I think this is well, all I'll say is like this absolutely worked for me. Like I kind of made some assumptions. These definitely came true. So the idea is then that people can then ascend to one-on-one personalized coaching, which I was doing at the time, and I still do, but I was doing. So I was kind of doing this, but this was the thing that I hadn't done, which is kind of a group coaching offer. And this is personalized one-on-one coaching, 9 to 5 escapees, early value creators, less than 10 grand a month. outcomes, clarity, growth, website, monetization, roadmap, launch, MVO, and product suite. So I've definitely got a lot tighter on like the outcomes for this now, as well as the group coaching. So I've got really, and that's what's taken a year to get clear on like what is my messaging, what is the angle, but it's not far off. But I think this is like, it's gotten a lot clearer on what the outcomes are of the offer. So yeah, and the idea was that I'd already had some case studies, I'd had some big wins, and the idea is that feed all of that into case studies. Then the next thing was this idea of like done for you one-on-one services and coaching program. And this is definitely something that, I kind of believe in this kind of hybrid model of like, you just do what you do what you want, whether it's like done for you, do it yourself, done with you. And I'm not doing this currently. I'm not doing done for you, one-on-one services, but it's definitely something that I will, there are elements that I think I could add into my offer. So it would actually be, this would probably roll into this, but not there yet. So that's as we grow. And then the idea is having then a SaaS solution. To be honest, this is kind of my Creator OS, my Notion dashboard, which is almost like my SaaS solution, which is free, by the way. If you click the link down in the description, you can get yours for free. It's not paid, but like, who knows? Okay, so then there was like key hires. So this is me being like, okay, what eventually within 3 to 5 years, what would a team look like? And then it was like sales, SDRs, appointment bookers, advisors, closers. Delivery would be brand consultants, account managers, and VAs. Content would be editors, designers. Paid social would be media buyers. Now, this is what has changed massively to what I'm aiming to do now. So this was me aiming to build a big fat fucking team with low to moderate profit margins, high employee turnover, high churn. And what I've realized since then, because I've seen other people in the market do it, is my intention is to build a very, very lean business, high profit margins, 80, 90, 95% plus profit margins, and to do it on a much leaner team, which we'll get into. So let's get into it. So that was, and lead generation. This is the last thing. So my lead generation plans back then were no referrals or affiliate, apart from I've kind of got an existing referral option, but I'm not pushing that massively because I'm focused on getting results with my existing clients. We've got organic content. So at the time it was Twitter, outreach, which was cold DMs, big philosophy shift here. And this is ultimately like what I needed to do to get the kind of get things off the ground. I actually don't think I was doing warm DMs. I don't think I was doing any cold DMs. So I don't know why I had that. Maybe this is the plan. I was like, I'm just going to smash cold DMs. I don't know. But I never did cold DMs because I literally hate it. Cold DMs suck. And then paid social was Instagram, which I have been doing for a year. So, okay, cool. So let's see what the hell has changed. So that was July 6th, 2023. Here is July 6th, 2024. Let's start with lead gen then, because that is, the big thing that we kind of, the big kind of like tap to open the business. So this is a big shift, is that organic, I went from, I guess actually it's YouTube and Instagram, and completely stopped posting on Twitter. I did start on LinkedIn. So I did start on LinkedIn at the beginning of the year, but then I was like, it's too hard to cover all of these multiple channels at the same time. And especially on LinkedIn, where you need to engage, you need to do all this stuff, you need to it is not worth it. All right, sorry, I just had to blow my nose there. Okay, and outreach was, very much warm DMs. So that's my my outreach formula, which is running really simple Instagram follow ads on Instagram, and then sending warm DMs to people who are followers, commenters, likers, engagers. So super simple lead generation strategy. Fucking hell, sorry. Okay, let's. All right, sorry, I was just having a bit of an issue with the Zoom there. Okay, so really, like business model wise, like 3 to 5 year roadmap, aim is $1 million annual profit. Has that changed? No, like that is absolutely what I'm aiming for. So I've actually got more specific on this. I've got some more specific on the exact monthly income that I'm aiming for, which we'll talk about. But no, same thing. And the question is like, when will I get there? I actually think, so I guess now we're now 1 year in. So this is actually like 2 to 4 year roadmap now. So let's change that, 2 to 4 year roadmap. So the question is like, can I get there within the next 2 years? I actually think I can. So yeah, I think 2 years is doable. Similar kind of why, like, to be honest, it's just to help people just build a life of complete freedom and purpose. Free content. So again, yeah, kind of hasn't really changed here. Like the newsletter is like the free content, but the free content is my Instagram and YouTube, like really. Lead magnets, these have tightened up significantly. So I did have a bunch of lead magnets, and this is definitely something that I'm going to continue to test. I think it's really important to test different lead magnets. But the big thing for me was when Hormozi made his announcement of his investment in Skool in January this year. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going all in on Skool now, because I was about to launch my community, but I wasn't going to launch it until April this year, so a few months ago. And his announcement brought this forward. I was like, I'm going to jump on that wave. That's one big lesson I've learned is when there are waves, you jump and ride on it. That's what I did. And we got to, we've now got over 1,000 members in CreatorLaunch University. And this is where I have my kind of like fundamentals course. It's a free course. So if you're seeing this for the first time, you can get a free course, which is going to help you get to your first 10K a month down below in the description. Just apply. It's free. It's completely free. And I think the big thing there is that this is a really great lead magnet. Also, my Creator OS Notion system you can get when you enter that. So again, that's been a really good lead magnet. Again, I'm thinking one thing I did notice, which actually worked really well, which I'm probably going to do again, was an email course. So a kind of a 6 to 7 email mini course where if I actually think back to like, if I could probably look at the data and ConvertKit to see how many leads it drove, but I'm always surprised because I had it in my previous YouTube videos. I was always surprised at how many people clicked it. So I need to kind of review that and see if it was the positioning of the lead magnet, if I was like, and it was like essentially is like how to be a solopreneur. So yeah, I need to review that because I think that's probably one other lead magnet I might add back in. And that is my lead magnets. Then we've got, this is a kind of like, the Creator Accelerator course is actually free in CreatorLaunch University, but because Skool have just added the option to sell one-off products, I've now got bundles in there, other trust tripwire impulse purchase, like my one simple ad toolkit. I've got my one simple offer blueprint builder. I've got my one simple community on Skool kind of like accelerator. You can get that. You can literally go into Skool and you can buy those and start implementing them today. And so those are kind of like free to between $300. I also got like an audit option for people to pay for me to audit their business. So these are all like awesome, and that's why Skool's been actually really great for that, because it gives people a really good opportunity to do stuff. So the big way I've been doing this is I call these BTC offers, behind the curtains offers, where you don't make brand new content. What you do is you just repurpose content that you're already creating. So for me, it's like workshops that I'm hosting for my private clients. I then take that material and then I wrap it into a bundle and then sell it as a kind of like micro offer. And this means that it increases the volume of offers that I can make outside of my core client offer. So I'm making offers every single day. Really key. This has been amazing. I mean, in the last couple of months, I've made like just in these like in testing, I think I've only done 3 workshops and I've made $3,000 just from 3 workshops selling seats to workshops. So that's been a really positive test that I'm going to lean into really hard, and helping my clients and students do this too. Now, this is where we go into the group coaching. I've kind of got a lot tighter on what this is. So what this looks like is my group coaching program is a community plus a growth infrastructure. And so we have freedom creators, and when you join Freedom Creators alongside the community and getting access to everyone else, getting access to the group coaching that I give once a week, you get the all of our launch growth infrastructure. So essentially, I've made everything that I've built into a simple checklist with training and resources, so that people can implement it themselves. This is the scaling infrastructure. So this is what we've got. This is what I've built to help all of my clients get to their next milestone, and kill it. So I've now got to the point where I know that it works really well, and so really comfortable. And what I've done is, the reason it's $100 a week, this is a big change I've made, is I've introduced weekly pricing to get people started. Now, if you're watching this, this is going to probably be significantly higher. Right now, this is like an entry. This is just an entry option just to get people started over the summer for our summer accelerator. But this is going to be probably scaled to, over the next year, to $300, $350 a week. Then we've got our personalized one-on-one coaching. This is mentorship with me, where you can right now it's like $150 a week. But again, this is probably going to get to be honest, this is eventually going to get to like $800, $900 a week over the next like year or two. So this is a disgusting option to get involved at this stage. And again, it's purely because this is a kind of like one-time launch that we're doing for the summer. So this is going to increase quite rapidly. And yeah, similar types of people. I haven't updated the outcomes here because I forgot to do that. And then, yeah, not doing the done for you services and the SaaS. Yeah, nothing on that yet. But what we have done is we've got clear on a bunch of case studies. So we've got loads of case studies now that you can see on my YouTube channel, and that feeds into lead generation. So the question is, and here's the difference between the key hires. So you can see the key hires here and the key hires here is significantly smaller. So all I have, a content editor and manager, YouTube thumbnails guy, and a VA. Super simple. And my aim is to write that to $106,329 a month, which is my target monthly income. So the question is, have I stuck to my plan, or have I been triggered by the shiny object syndrome? And I personally think I've absolutely crushed it, and I've just delivered on my plan. And I'm super proud of this. I'm kind of looking back at yesterday. I was like, wow, shit, I've actually just done what I said I was going to do. So yeah, hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea on how you can build your business. But what I wanted to talk to you now is like, okay, now we've got this model, but like, how do we actually grow it? So what is my plans to grow this? So my plans to grow is based on this. Frankly, it's based on this. It's based on the 7-11-4 rule by Google. And the rule is, before someone buys, a consumer needs 7 hours of engagement across 11 touch points in 4 separate locations. So I'm like, okay, well, Google have just given you the formula. So you need to now just like make the formula happen. So that is what I've built and what I'm building. This is from a podcast that I saw yesterday with the GOAT of marketing, Seth Godin. A 10-minute YouTube isn't 20 times better than a 30-second TikTok. It's 200 times better because you created tension. And in that tension, in that discomfort, someone grew. You didn't have the chance to do that with TikTok. And this is the whole idea in that learning is all about discomfort. And so on TikTok, you don't get the opportunity to create that discomfort. Whereas on YouTube, you do. Over the time that you've been watching this, you can see maybe there's a gap between where you are and where you want to get to. And that is uncomfortable. And here's an example, a great example recently from one of our clients, Dan. So, hey guys, might not be a Monday, but wanted to share this win with you all. Just had a sales call with a prospect who had seen one of my webinars that I'd done. He saw I mentioned my YouTube channel. From watching a video I did, he booked the call. It's sort of warm as he had heard of me before, but he got my booking link on YouTube. I'm calling it my first sales from content. £2,500 paid in full. That's like 3K. 22 views on my most watched video. So that is the proof of how powerful this stuff is. And this is why it's a core of our model. So what are the main constraints of a high ticket business? Because this is how I'm thinking about building my business and how I coach my clients on building theirs. There are four main constraints of a high ticket business. There's leads, appointments, sales, and results. And really what you need is you need a system for each of these. So We've got 4 core systems. So we've got a leads attraction system, we've got a customer creation system, we've got a client conversion system, and a value delivery system. And each one of these goes to each one of these. So that's kind of like the absolute like core fundamental of how I've built my business over the last year and how my clients are building their business. Because there is what I believe is that there was an old way of doing things where you'd have loads of different kind of like outcome promises. You'd have, hey, we're going to help you. I'm going to help you get here. 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 And you'd have to make resources for all of these. And each single one would have to have a different funnel. It would have to have a different set of resources, like set content. It would be a friggin' nightmare. Instead, what I've done and what I'm doing now is I just have one outcome. My outcome is I'm going to help you get to your next 6-figure milestone, whatever that is, by implementing our growth infrastructure. And the only option is that you get to choose, do you want the like do it yourself, the kind of like self-paced version, or do you want to do the like fast track mentorship version? As in, do you want to go faster? It's like, do you want to go at your own pace or do you want to go faster? But everything we've done is the same. So we have the same free resources, the same private resources. We then get coaching and consulting, and then if people want to get mentorship by me, they can choose to get another kind of extra speed, but it's going to cost them more to get that level of access. So really what this is an access stack. So people can access my free content, people can access my private content, people can then get coached or consulting from me, and then people can also get mentorship from me. So here's how I'm doing this, by the way. So if some of you have seen my previous videos on talking about target monthly income, my target monthly income is $106,329 in monthly recurring revenue per month. And I know for some of you that may sound insane, but I've calculated what I want my lifestyle to be like, and that is how much money I need to be making to get to that lifestyle. At least that's my next milestone. And to do that, the reason why this is important is because I can reverse engineer. And I can say, okay, at this price point, this investment point for people to start working with me, how many clients do I need to get there? And so I need to get at my kind of like when I've completely peaked to where my pricing is going to be. These are the numbers that I need at one time to fulfill this target monthly income. So this is 77 community members at one time. So these are self-paced, so people who are kind of self-directed learning, self-paced, but they also get access to coaching and consulting on my group coaching calls. So they can ask questions to me in the community, they can ask questions to me on calls. And then we've got people who want to go faster. And these are like, at the moment, I'm only maxing this at 20 clients at one time. And where for 16 weeks, a block of 16 weeks, you get on a one-on-one call with me every 2 weeks for 30 minutes. And this is for people that want to have more support, more access. Super simple. So this is my business now. My business is like literally, if I wanted to like be like, hey, what is your business? This is my business. I've got a community where I help them implement their growth infrastructure, and you can either choose to kind of do it self-paced and be part of the community and access our group coaching and consulting, or you can be one of my one-on-one clients who wants just more access. And this is one of my lessons that I'll get to, which is this idea of giving people the opportunity to choose their own adventure. Because some people will want more access and more support. There have been times when I've wanted more access and more support, and I paid for it. Where there's been times when I'm like, I can just do this, I can self-pace this out. And so you give people the option to choose. So that is my business right now. That is my business, and this is how we're like building it. This is how we're growing the business. So this is the kind of like dumbass version. You know, I make short form content and I run simple Instagram profile visit ads on Instagram. And again, key thing here is I'm focusing on all my energy on two platforms, my short form platform and my long form platform. And again, that is to fulfill this so that people find me and then spend time with me. So when I'm driving traffic to Instagram, getting people to know me, and then I'm pushing them through lead magnets, through ManyChat, onto my email list and into my free Skool community. Then I'm making offers every single day, and I'm getting them to consume my long form content like this, so you get to know me better. Then I use a simple offer document to showcase what it means to become one of my clients. And then if you join me as a private client, you get access to my private community, which is on Slack. And this is the polished looking version. So we've got one simple ad on Instagram that drives leads, and those leads join your one simple community. You use behind the curtain BTC offers, one-time offers, kind of micro offers to convert leads into customers. And then you use one simple video to turn, which is my kind of video sales letter breakdown framework, which is where you turn customers into clients. And then you have one simple offer, which is this. This is my one simple offer. And that is what gets people results, and you turn those results into case studies, and you feed those case studies right into the top of the flywheel, which is into our one simple ad and our long form content. So sick. I think this is absolutely mega, and this is just some proof that it works. This is one of our clients, Jake, who has gone, he made over 100k profit in just this, like in the first half of the year working with us. And so he runs our one simple ad protocol on Instagram, builds his audience with what I call perfect future clients. So he's building his audience at the same time as getting leads for his business, which is so super sick. He has someone managing his DMs, and they send them to his video sales letter, and they're added to a wait list. Then he opens the doors to his community every so often, and he turns kind of leads into customers, and then he turns customers into clients with his mentorship program. His mentorship program then feeds into results into his YouTube videos, sales assets on YouTube, and back into the top of the funnel, top of the flywheel. So it works. Okay, cool. Right, now on to 3 lessons. So these are the big, if I was thinking back, I was like, what are the biggest lessons I've learned over the last year of doing this? The first lesson is and the best example, best way for you to see how I'm doing this now is go look at my description in my YouTube videos, how I'm giving loads of links, and I'm letting people choose what makes sense for the next step in their journey, instead of just giving them one next step, which is definitely a philosophy that some people have, which is just give them the next step. I think you lose people. I genuinely think, if that next step doesn't make sense for them, you lose people. They then drop out of the funnel, and your funnel gets leaky. So I give people the option. So I'm like, okay, maybe you're looking to surround yourself with other entrepreneurs. Maybe you're like being in our community, our free community. Go click the link. Maybe you're looking for education and you want to learn how to start your own creator business, start your own, high ticket business. Join our community, and you've got a free course in there that's going to help educate you to get you to that first 10K. Maybe you just want insider insights every day. Maybe you just want to learn how to, how to do this and get a little nugget of gold every day. Join our launch newsletter, where I'm going to send you an email every day. So I'm giving all these options instead of just being like, hey, just go watch a video sales letter, which typically is what most people do, which you should see that as well there, because some people want to see, okay, how do I actually help people? What is my model? How do I help people? But my philosophy is give people the option to choose which next step they take. Okay, second is become best friends with your clients. This has been a big shift for me. And I'll tell you this, I'll explain why, because I think when I started the business, when you don't have confidence and evidence that you can crush it, I think that you're always trying to give this kind of feeling of you need to stay professional and stay have some level of authority. And what that means is that actually prevents you from building a really strong bond with your client, which actually is what I've learned is the most important thing, which is to build a strong bond with your clients. And the way you do that is you just become best friends with them. That means you learn about their lives, you engage with their content, you like everything they do, you comment on their stuff. And this has been a huge shift with me, and this has definitely massively increased the stickiness of the people that I work with, because I want to work with these people for years now. That's a big mindset shift that I've made. So that's been awesome. It's improved the relationships that I've had with my clients, and it's improved their results as well, which is the most important part. Like me actually being like, okay, and this is, again, you only kind of like learn this stuff when you go through it, but go in with the intent of like, become best friends with your clients. Third big lesson is expect it to take 3 times longer than you think it will. And I see this every time, like I get new clients and I'm like, okay, well, what are your goals for the next 3 months? And the truth is that most people never get there anywhere near as fast as they think. So this has been the same case for me. Like, so I feel like I'm way more realistic about how long it's going to take. And that's why part of the reason why I made this video is because to show where I've got to and what I've had to do over the last year, because it just takes time. But I'm here for the long term. I'm here for a long time. Okay, so what is going to be my focus for the next like block of time? This ain't going to change ever. My focus is getting great, like unbelievable client results. I want the best client results in the industry. And so I know that nothing feeds the health of the business better than getting banging client results. And so part of that actually is also client experience. So one of the things is I'm really going to be trying to and this is going to take a while, to be honest, like this is, but I know where I want to get to, which is like, how do I have an absolutely ruthless client experience where like clients are like, oh my God, like this is from onboarding all the way through to, whatever, to renewal. I want people to be like, that was something that I've never experienced before. And I know that I've always been obsessed with client experience and like kind of customer experience. And I guess it comes from my like, helping businesses do this. And so I'm really excited about that. And then, third is going to be attention, just getting eyeballs on what I'm doing. So I'm going to go super hard on trying to create high quality YouTube videos. So I'm not going for volume, I'm going for quality. But I'm going for volume on Instagram because that is the way to get better, is to get high volume. I've probably done like 150 videos on YouTube now, probably done 100 videos on Instagram, but like I'm going hard on that. And then also on ads. So I'm doing Instagram profile visit ads, and then also retargeting ads to my Instagram followers. Might test out YouTube video, might test out YouTube video ads at some point, but I know right now it's not absolutely necessary. Okay, look, this is the final thing I'm going to say. Maybe you would like to join us. Honestly, I don't know who. That's the problem. I can't. When I see this, I'm like, I don't know who you are. But if you're still here, by the way, it's 40 minutes. 40 minutes have gone by now. Smash that like button. Smash it. Just smash it. Just give it a hit. Give it a hit. Because this has been good shit. Come on. It's been good shit. Okay, so Sunday the 7th of July, 2024 is tomorrow. So there is a fat chance that if you're watching this doesn't mean shit for you. Anyway, but this is for any of you who are seeing this in the next 24 hours. You've got 24 hours to join us for our separation season summer accelerator. This is because people take their fucking foot off the gas. And I'm not going to be one of them during summer, and I'm going to drag my clients. So this is a internal event for my private community. It's for freedom creators, but I'm opening the doors for a handful of people if you want to join. So who's this for? This is for people who are currently serving clients, but they're ready to serve more. You've got some banger case studies, so you've got proof that you can actually crush your job. You're ready to scale to your next 6-figure milestone. You deeply appreciate the pursuit of excellence. Like, this is a big one for me. Like, I'm really going to be pushing this more and more because I want to surround myself with people that want to push me and I want to push them. And the pursuit of excellence is something that is like such a thing for me. So if that resonates with you, hey, maybe you'll be joining the right thing. You want a predictable, simple system to scale your business, and you want to work less than 4 hours a day because ultimately I've got other interests too. This is not for people looking for shortcuts. This is not for people afraid of hard work. Like, to get to 4 hours per day, which like I'm at now, is like, it's possible, but it's going to take it takes a bit of blunt force to get there. Okay. That's the whole point. Like, hard work is hard work because, hard work is hard work because it's hard work, but that's why we get paid the big bucks. And look, if you want to build a giant team, like I thought I did want to do, this isn't for you. This is not for you. But I'm going to help you implement our growth infrastructure over the next 16 weeks so that you can scale to your next 6-figure milestone, work with dream clients, and build a freedom creator business that you truly love. If you want that, and if you're seeing this within the next 24 hours, DM me 77 on Instagram, because that's the number of the cap that we have for freedom creators, and we'll get you started. And if you are still here and you want to understand exactly what freedom creators is all about, why it's called Freedom Creators, what we stand for, I'm going to link you to a video, and it's going to be in that corner. Okay, go watch it. That was sick. See you in the next one.